Karen's calls the police on me, saying I stole their sandwiches, even though I paid for it. On a day I was off work, I was craving a sandwich at lunchtime on a hot day. I traveled to the nearest subway and got in line. As it was noon time, there were quite a few people in line, and as many places, they seemed understaffed. I get this, everyone is nothing the store can do but what they can. The young teenage girl was the only one to make sandwiches while a manager was ringing up the orders when not helping with condiments. So while waiting in line at Subway with like 6 others, I was behind a group of 3 old ladies, the Karens of this story. While not the spitting image of most Karens, you could tell from how they talked with each other they were the kind of women with resting beach faces. So it came time to have their sandwiches made, and of course, every one of them wanted a very custom sandwich. This meat that cheese is a little too much. I want it toasted off. That is too much. I want to switch the bread. On and on, it was annoying as the one girl tried to keep up but was getting frustrated and stressed. Then the manager stepped over, trying to help, but with these women, they were not happy with anything. After 15 minutes of making each of these ladies sandwiches, it finally came time to pay. Down to the register they went as my meatball sub was quickly made and passed down. I am plain bread, meat, and sauce, a little ranch. So I waited behind them. The manager rang up the old bats, and when the total came out to around $30-ish, they went off again. I'm not saying that they started to squeal. We waited forever to be served, and then you two couldn't even make a sandwich. We want it free, they whined. I was fed up with it, and after it continued for a few minutes, I stepped up and said I'd take the sandwiches and add them to mine. The old crows grinned and thought they had won. I paid for the 4 sandwiches now and added my drink and chips. After my card was approved and I was handed my receipt, I picked up my newly 4 bought sandwiches and got my drink. As I started paying, the old ladies went to sit at a table. After getting my drink, I headed to the door to leave with my food in hand. Excuse me, you have our food still. Are you not going to bring it to us? Receipt in hand, holding it up. Nope, I paid my money for my food and will take them back to work. As I headed to the door, this got the old beaches to get up and chase me out the door, which I didn't mind. The staff had enough of them, and I can take some abuse from crazies. You need to give us our food, or we will call the cops and have you arrested, they said. I knew this was dumb, but as I said, nothing better on a day off. Please be my guest. I assure you they won't be doing anything about this. One of them started to pull out a phone and call while the others began telling me how I must love stealing from old ladies and how they knew this person or that person and I would be in jail for a long time. Well, they called. I stood there not saying a word, which is hard to do being belittled, but I had the store crowd watching by this point. Soon enough, a few units pulled in, and as they got out, a look of confusion crossed their face. Officer says, are you the guy they called about because you matched the description? Yay, I am what they callin' on me. He says, you stole their sandwiches and demanded money from them. Well, look into it, ask the clerk and manager who paid for the sandwiches, and look at this receipt. One officer walked in, spoke with the store, and watched the video while the other listened to these women insinuate that I took the food from them. The shock was priceless once the other came out and confirmed I paid for them, and the store also wanted the 3 trespassed for a disturbance. I was released to leave but decided to go back in and eat. The 3 were banned and left with an even more sour look, and the manager brought over a cookie, telling me it was on her.